Hi, my name is Becky, and I was honored to share my story last year at the GRFW for Women Luncheon and also at the 2010 GRFW for Women Luncheon. My husband and I actually got to grow our family through adoption. If you were at the luncheon last year, you met our daughter. She's about a month old, and recently we celebrated her 1-year birthday. We didn't get to celebrate, of course, the way we wanted to with friends and family, but we did through Zoom, through a couple Zoom parties, so that was a lot of fun. And I really don't mind sharing my story for the American Heart Association because they funded the research that's behind the device that keeps me alive. In fact, my defibrillator went off again in this past October 10th. It was one day after my husband and I celebrated our 10-year wedding anniversary, and one day before we were supposed to be in Fort Worth to finalize our adoption with Eliana. And my heart just began to race out of control and like over 200 beats per minute. And so at that point, it's not even contracting anymore, it's just quivering, and my body isn't getting the oxygen and the blood that it needs. And so I went into cardiac arrest. My device did its job. It shocked me actually 2 times to get me back and to get me onto a healthy rhythm. After that, I had to spend a few days in ICU, which meant that we were not able to go to the courthouse for adoption day and finalize our adoption, but the judge was really kind and allowed us to do it virtually from the hospital room. As you can imagine, the uncertainty of my heart condition is a lot on just a normal day. But now with this pandemic and knowing that I'm at higher risk of having a serious illness or a serious complication if I get COVID-19, it's a scary time. I find comfort in the work of the Heart Association. When everything else came to a complete halt, the work of the Heart Association did not stop. They continued to talk about how important it is for us to take care of ourselves, even more so now, right? And they are also finding ways to fund research on how COVID is impacting people like me with heart disease or with brain disease. They're even learning about why COVID gives people heart disease. So I really appreciate the work of the Heart Association, and it's also why it's more important now than ever that we make sure that their work, is able to continue. So thank you for being on this call today. Thank you to the American Heart Association for keeping me alive, no biggie. And thank you to those of you who personally support the American Heart Association, because they wouldn't be able to save lives if it weren't for you. So thank you. And you guys please take care.